I know YouTube. I don't own the rights to that shit, but it's awesome, isn't it? And Iron Maiden, though, they do. And no, I didn't see Iron Maiden recently. I had to pull this one out of the archives. Sorry, I haven't been to a show yet this year, but they're coming. And when they're going to start to come, it's going to come hard. So don't worry. I will have plenty of footage for us soon of new shows. But until then, you know, I wonder, I'm reviewing an older show. This show goes all the way back to September 13th of 2019. I know, it's a long time ago now, almost, it'll be 5 years coming this September. But I've never talked about this show, and we got Iron Maiden coming back this October 5th at Michelob Arena 2024 at the Mandalay Bay. So I kind of wanted to put that out there for people now. Now is a good time to get your tickets. You might be able to find, I doubt you're going to find any on regular price, but you might be able to find some cheaper resales, I should say. I, of course, jumped on that shit immediately that day at 10 a.m. when the tickets went on sale because I wanted to get them before the resale because they're going to go quick. So before we get going, this is episode 12 of season 2 now, 37th overall episode of hashtag We Still Got More Rockin' to Do, bitch, which brings me to the theme song, and we still got more rockin' to do, bitch. We're going to up the irons today and talk about the Iron Maiden that they were at the MGM Grand Arena, like I said, on September 13th of 2019, one day before my birthday, actually. So, and the MGM Grand Arena could hold about 17,000 people for concerts. And yes, there was every bit of 17,000 people. The place was packed to the gills. Iron Maiden has definitely no shortage of fans. Also, another reason why I wanted to do this show, it gives me a good excuse to bust out all my Eddies. So we did that today. All 9 of them are out here. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And like I said, never done a review on this show because I didn't start my review show 2 years later. So, but I still have plenty of good memories about the show. I had a really good friend that came out from Illinois, him and his son. We'll call him Red. And Red, we'll call him Little Red, his son. I didn't ask for permission to use their names, so, you know, I just call him by the nickname. And anybody that knows me, who knows when we talk about Red, we know who that is. So, shout out to Red and Little Red in Central Illinois. They came out to Vegas pretty much to hang out and, of course, up the irons and fucking see Iron Maiden. So we did that. Opening band for Iron Maiden was called Raven's Age. They formed in 2009 out of London, England. Pretty much the two founders were George Harris and Dan Wright. And George Harris is the son of Steve Harris. Steve Harris being the bassist and founder of Iron Maiden. So, you know, if you got a band and your dad's on tour, there's a good chance maybe you can open up for your dad's band when your dad's band is Iron Maiden. And, you know, so that's kind of a good way in. So Raven's Age came out. They did a pretty good little set. We didn't know nothing about them. The only thing we did know was it was Steve Harris's son's band. That's the only thing we did know, because we did know that back then. That wasn't something I found out later on in my review. We did know this was the band from Stephen Harris's son. So we were like, well, at least they're going to come out and they're going to try to jam and rock. A couple of the songs, we'll just go over the set list. It was only 9-song set list, so I'm just going to hit it up. You can pretty much YouTube any of these songs if you want to check out Raven's Age yourself. I'm pretty sure all these will be on there in either a studio or live form. Betrayal of the Mind, Promised Land, Surrogate, The Day the World Stood Still at number 4. The 5th song was The Face That Launched 1,000 Ships. The next one is, I'm probably going to butcher it, Fleur de Lis. Have no idea what that means. I probably should have researched that a little better, but it's the opening band. I'm not going to get too crazy on the opening band unless it's like a big opening band. I'm giving them a little shout out. That's good enough. We're moving on. The seventh song was Grave of the Fireflies into Seventh Heaven. And then they finished up with a song called Angel in Disgrace. And like I said, pretty good heavy band. Good pace. He grew up listening to, I'm sure, a lot of Iron Maiden, a lot of other metal bands growing up. So he's just a newer version of his metal that he listened to growing up and his version of it. So they're pretty talented musicians. Everybody seemed to be on point and on key and everything. It was a good opening band act. Like I always say, the opening band doesn't have to be great. It just has to be decent to get you through. It's like a bridge to get you to the headliner. As long as they don't suck, you're like, hey, that was pretty good opening band. That's all you ask for. You know they're not going to come off and rock your socks off. Now, if you happen to have an opening band that does rock your socks off, then hey, that is awesome. That's just bonus. But Raven's Age rocked the house, did a great job. I thought they were really cool. Red and Little Red thought the same. We were having a good time. But it's all about the Iron Maiden and up in the irons. And frontman Bruce Dickinson was definitely on point. Before I get into this too much on the set list part, I am wearing a shirt. This is an actual Iron Maiden crew shirt. Crew, not Motley Crue, but a crew member in the back. From the show, this is the logo of that tour, the Legacy of the Beast tour. Okay? And how I got this shirt. I was at the show, but I had a tour shirt, where it's got the dates in the back and the picture of that year with the kind of Eddie and stuff, And I work on this property, and I was working with a guy that got this shirt given to him by his cousin. And he's a big guy, though, and he's like, there's no way I'm ever going to fit in this shirt, and he gave it to me. And this shirt has been touched by the other, by the Iron Maiden band members, because the guy that wore this shirt in the crew was in charge of walking the band members out, because there's a little tunnel apparently that's kind of dark, and you walk out the band members to make sure they can kind of get through safely and not trip over anything and get through, so they can get on stage and do their thing and not be hurt. If they're hurt, they're not going to be able to perform very well. So it's a very important job. So this shirt has been touched. I don't know by all the band members or what, but there's probably a good chance that this shirt was touched by at least, I'd say, 3 out of 5 members, being that this guy had to walk them all out. Because they kind of like, all right, kind of like, walk with me, sir. We're going to walk out this way, and then once you see the light, you're going to go, and I'm going to duck, however they do it exactly. And so that's why this shirt's pretty cool. I could have worn the Iron Maiden tour shirt or one of my other Iron Maiden shirts I have, but I was like, nah, let me wear this one and kind of tell you a little story about it too at the same time. So I thought that was all right and pretty cool. The guy gave it to me, realizing it'd just be a souvenir to him. I don't wear this a whole lot, but every once in a while for like a show like this, maybe I'll wear this show at the Iron Maiden show in October just to fuck with the other crew members and see what happens. Maybe I can use it for my advantage. The thoughts that run through my head. Anyway, let's get into the set list. So Iron Maiden comes out, of course. All the other band members come out first. And then Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer and vocalist, comes out last. And of course, whenever they start hitting the stage, everybody stands up. Not everybody was standing up during Raven's Age. Maiden, everybody's standing. Everybody, like, we've been waiting years for this. Let's fucking jam. Right into the first song coming out, Aces High, which is really cool. Then they go in right to another war song, Where Eagles Dare. They also have different props throughout the show, like they'll have like an airplane above the crowd and stuff and different things going on. Eddie comes out and has a sword fight with Bruce Dickinson. And there's flamethrowers, and like Bruce Dickinson's got these flamethrowers and stuff. And he's running all over. You wouldn't know how he's an older gentleman. He's running all over the stage doing his thing. You know, Steve Harris with the bass is all over the stage. You know, they're getting down, having a good time and jamming. And yeah, it was awesome. I can't wait till October 5th. I know I don't want to push the year through so fast. I got so many cool concerts in between that, but man, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. So, sorry. Third song in, 2 minutes to midnight. The fourth song is called The Klansman, but it's with a C, damn it, not with a K. So don't do any, you know, come on. Don't do your bullshit. Don't do it. The C, Klansman. It's not a song about race, trust me. Listen to it. Right into the Trooper, Revelations, For the Greater Good of God, The Wicker Man, Sign of the Cross, Flight of Icarus. Then this next one, Fear the Dark. And like I said, a lot of these songs are badass Iron Maiden tunes, man. But this one here, Fear the Dark, there's kind of like an intro. It's kind of do 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 do. And at this time, instead of like just hearing that, you hear about 17,000 people. And it was awesome. And like I said, I'm not the one that likes a whole lot of crowd singing type stuff just because I paid to see those guys do it. You didn't pay to hear me fucking sing. Okay? I didn't pay to hear Joe Blow Fuckface over there sing. I paid to see you guys sing. So, but there's, like I've always said in concerts, you know, and I've talked about the Metallica show where it happened. Certain shows, when it happens, it's really cool when it's done right. And like I said, almost 17,000 people did it right that night. And I want to say almost 17,000 because, like I said, it was a packed house. But I'm sure there was some people sitting there not doing it. You know what I mean? Just like, whatever. You know, there was the rest of us that we were getting into it. And it's a badass tune. It's called Fear of the Dark. And like I said, if you listen to the intro and kind of picture that tune with just 17,000 fans, and I'm sure it happens to Iron Maiden all over when they do that song. It probably does. But it was just really cool to be a part of it. That alone is the kind of moments when you're with one of your best buds from where you grew up and his son, and you just kind of look at them and you're like, hell yeah, man. This is worth the price of admission right here. Just to have that. It was awesome. Man, yeah. It was a great concert moment right there. Then they do Number of the Beast. And then they do their song title or their band title song called Iron Maiden. All the way back, I believe, from their first album. So that wrapped up the main part of the show. But like I said, Iron Maiden definitely didn't come all the way to Vegas to not fucking come back out and give us a triple encore, which is awesome. Anytime you get an encore, it's cool. But when you get a triple encore and when it's 3 awesome tunes, you're like, yeah, this is awesome. They come out and they do The Evil That Men Do. Classic rock and Iron Maiden tune. Then they do, which is this song here I'm going to mention, they couldn't do live for many years because they were being sued because there was another band, I won't mention the band's name, that was suing Iron Maiden saying they stole the song theme or they stole the song from them. So it was in court for many years. I don't even know how many years. I didn't look it up. It's disgusting that it even had to happen. So Iron Maiden had to fight to be able to play this song live. Can you believe that shit? And it was their song, but they were, like I said, another band was saying, that's our song. And they're like, no, we wrote this. This is ours. And you copy, blah, blah. Bunch of bullshit. And, of course, Iron Maiden ended up winning because they should have, because it is their song. If you listen to the song they're trying to compare it to, it's not even, I'm even like what? Whatever. And they did play it, Hallowed Be Thy Name, one of my favorite Maiden tunes. I wanted them to play it all night, and when they finally started to play it, when they do the first dun 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 dun, 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 and they're ringing the big dong, the big bell, and it's like, oh yeah. And it's one of them songs that starts off, and the way you're listening to it, and it's almost like something bad is about to happen. Like it's one of those kind of like songs, the way he comes in creepily on his vocals, and the way the music is, and then like it just picks up, and then they're running low, and like the vocals, it's yeah, awesome tune. It's great they get to play it live again. Should have never had to go through that bullshit, but whatever. I won't mention that band's name. I'm sure you can Google it if you really want to care about that case. Just know that Iron Maiden won. Took them many years to win the case, though. And they won it. And then they finish up the encore and the whole show with a very famous Iron Maiden tune, Run to the Hills. Even if you don't know a whole lot about Iron Maiden, if you grew up in the 80s and watched MTV when they actually played these things called music videos, you've probably seen the song Run to the Hills and were probably like, this is pretty cool. This gets me up and going, yeah, Run to the Hills. And like they show as a kid, you don't really understand what they're saying in the lyrics, but as an adult, you're like, whoa, that's some heavy shit that they're singing about in that song. When we Run to the Hills, I won't go over it because it could take me a while, and I don't want to do that to y'all. But you just look at things a lot different when you're 7, and then when you're 47. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. Oh, fuck! We almost made it, man. I wasn't thinking about it. I just hit the table naturally, and one of the eddies fell out. And the little Satan that came with that eddy, because that's the number of the beast eddy, fell too. And this eddy technically still stayed up, so he's technically going to live, and only Satan died. So hey, some would say that's a win. And with that, we're going to duck on out. It was fun to talk about this old show and kind of reliving some of the old memories. You know, the Fear of the Dark, Hallowed Be Thy Name memory. Of course, all the other stuff that happens. Like I said, Eddie comes out literally and has a sword fight with Bruce, and Bruce comes out at one point. He has a jetpack with the goddamn flamethrowers. It's not he doesn't fly around and shit, but he's doing the flames and shit. Even shoots down an airplane with flames, and the plane comes down and stuff. Man, it's a great show. And then you mix in all the great music with the theatrics behind it. And you're just like, man, these guys still can rock, still can put on a great live performance, still put out a good studio album. That last album they have is awesome. I believe it's called Shinjitsu. It's been a while since I've seen the title. I know I probably should have reviewed that. I should have looked at it, but I can't remember all this shit. And it's not like it used to be, where you go out and you buy the CD and tapes or whatever. It's on a digital thing. So anyway, let's get out of here. It was great to talk about this show. Like I said, everybody needs to keep rocking. We're going to get some new shows really soon. Trust me. You know I will. I've already even gone over the schedule. But also, get your asses out here to Vegas October 5th and fucking watch Iron Maiden. You don't know how many years these guys are going to be around. And they're one of the most iconic heavy metal bands of all time. Whether you want to agree with that or not, it's the fact. Eddie here would say yes, it's definitely a fact. We're going to duck on out. Remember, night. Keep that butthole nice and tight. And remember, we still got a lot more rocking to do, bitch. Bust out the grease for the butthole.